Yo, what is up, y'all? Welcome to yet another flight sim video. Today we're taking out the big mad dog and we're doing a short little trip up north, about an hour and a half. We're in Memphis right now and we'll be going to Toronto. So sit back, grab some snacks, and enjoy. Alright, but anyway, like I always say, do not forget to smash that subscribe button if you love my contents. So, but with that anyway, we're gonna get into the video. They just stuttered there a little bit. So let's come over here. We can start with our weather briefing. We got our departure, Memphis International. Weather is a little bit messy, but we have really calm winds on our departure, and that's really good. And Toronto, the winds do pick up a little bit. And weather is not too bad, so but still, because of the thunderstorm and everything, the clouds, well, no, it's not that bad. We don't really need to. We have 13 knots, so I mean, we can add a little bit of extra fuel, and that is okay. Make sure that we have that. But anyway, let's go to our maps page, take a look at our winds for the flights. Winds will be pretty calm. We will not really deal with too much turbulence, and that's really good. So probably don't need to really consider adding extra fuel for our flights, and that's really good parts. Alright, perfect. That's what our weather's going to be looking like today. We take a look up here. Our cost index will be 39. It's our flight number. All of that good information. And here's our departure block, which is 20 minutes. That 20-minute time block, perfect right there. The current Zulu time is 2:11. But the average time, like according to the manual for loading an MD11 freighter, is about 40 minutes. So I took that into consideration, and we're not taking any extra fuel. Don't really see a reason to. So that we can set our flight. Here's our routing and everything. We will take the cross the 7 departure, and we're taking off from V6 left. We'll take the number 6 arrival onto 24 left in Toronto. I think that is what's planned, and that is what we are doing. So I have all of our information kind of briefed down, so let's jump into our office over here and get the airplane ready for flying, basically. But we're going to start with our cockpit inspection, of course, which we really start with the weather radar, and that is off. Parking brake we don't really need because we have the chocks in place. If we take a look over here, perfect, yep, chocks in place. We don't really need to worry about the parking brake right now. The engine starts over here. Oh, no. Rather the fuel switches. Let's make sure they're off. Flap, slap, lever. Flap, slats. Did I just say slap? Anyway, flap, slats. Up and retracted. Perfect. Landing gear is down. The wipers are off. Fuel dump is guarded. And now we can bring power into the aircraft. Now. Perfect. Yeah, battery on. External power is available. Let's get that running. We do not need a flashlight anymore. Got some lighting up in the cabin. Our temperature for departure will be, I think it is pretty hot in Memphis because I did skip over that. Yep, 28 on the temperature. So ideally we do want to turn on the APU, get that air conditioning running. So we will do that now. Let's do that now. Alright, all the indications on the fire test. Perfect.
Fire. Engine 2 fire. Engine 3 fire.
Perfect. Oh, we can monitor it here. Perfect. APU is firing up. Let's input our flight plan and finish the the cockpit inspection. Alright, so if we come over here to the electrical panel, the manual switch is off and the emergency power is off at this moment. As far as it's supposed to be in the checklist, but now at this point we can turn it on. Perfect. And the lights are extinguished. Alright. Pretty much ready to go. Let's get our fuel. No. I will skip the fuel, and the reason being is because, oh well, let's try it. GSX refueling does be acting a little bit funny with this aircraft. Sometimes it's working, sometimes not. Quite unfortunate, but still gonna give it a go.
Refueling truck is
just to try to make flying in the sim as realistic as possible, or the procedures rather. Anyway, we're in the FNC. We have the current nav data 2506. Yep. At this point, let's uplink that flight plan. There we go. Since that is in there. Oh, what did I just do? Double click accidentally. My mouse is acting a little bit funny too. I don't know what it is, but I'll probably need to replace it or the batteries that I have in it using the wireless Logitech mouse.
Fuel truck is in position.
We have 350. I just skipped past that in the flight plan. Yeah, we definitely have 350. Just had to recall. Here's our flight number today. FedEx 148. Alternate is Trenton, Canada. And our cost index is 39. Because, yeah. Oh, that's right. Almost forgot it, kind
Please
of.
use your airplane fuel system to set the desired fuel quantity.
Alright. Send payload and fuel. I better go through. About the weight shift on the airplane. On that. Good, that's alright. It should be. Fuel is 54.7.
Please use your airplane
54.7.
fuel system to set the desired fuel quantity.
No, it isn't working, of course. And I cannot really edit the fuel configuration in here. That's why I try to use this. The fuel truck is not detecting that I actually want fuel added. I don't know. I have to restart the throttle. Whatever.
Please use your airplane fuel system to set the desired fuel quantity.
It is not working. We're going to restart GSX. Zero fuel weight. Let's add what's planned. Zero fuel weights is 441.6. 441.6. Perfect. Flight plan. As far as that goes. And my sim is freezing up. Great. Person 736 left. There it is. What just happened? Lag. To reselect that. 36 left. Alright, it should be back online now. GSX. Alright.
Boarding
Gonna
requested.
do boarding now. Just to get through this. Doors. And the ABU should be running by now. Should be available by now, rather. Get it on. Perfect. Packs are running. Let that cabin cool down. Two for a left, number 6. Alright. And insert that too. And we're good to go. Let's go to VJet 2. Put guard on standby.
Do you want to board crew?
Memphis is currently uncontrolled at the moment. No controllers are online.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Alright, let me see something as well. The lights. I'll turn on the logo and the nav. Let's not forget that.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Alright, secondary, we're just gonna copy active, call it a day. Radio nav radio. Memphis, perfect. And it's, well, we're not really using the radio nav, I'm just checking it. Not using that on departure. Checking it. Alright, let's get our weather information, our altitude, our climb weather info, rather. Which will be... Is this still not recording? Huh. Oh. There we go, there we go. Alright, here's our info. And I would take 10,200 and 310. So let's do that. 319 at 8. Next we have 350 at 19. Oops. And last but not least, we have 20 at 44. Alright, perfect. We're gonna insert that. And here's our client profile. Let's go look at our cruise. Alright, really good, pretty good. And we're down to our performance. Let's load the weather info. Get all of that. Perfect. Because of the storm, take off. With us. And packs off perfect. $39, 52, 63. Lap 25. 28 centigrade. Alright. These speeds are in. And limits, let's make sure we have takeoff over here. Max optimal. And we're finished the pre-flight in the CDU. Perfect. Means we can FMS speed. There we go. We're staying with heading. Nav is armed and 5,000 initial. And we're turning on profile mode. Let's go into the charts. We're going to do a briefing. And FIS. Person 7. The RE6 left. And zoom in a little bit. 36 left, climb heading 360, intercept course. So here's the climb. Alright, it's 360, runway heading, intercept course to Sloan and depict the routes to Carson. Alright, pretty simple departure. Pretty simple departure. Simple, easy, and smooth. Seems easier done than said. Alright. Go through the overhead. Perfect. Cargo fire test. All IRSs are in nav mode. The cargo temperature is as desired. Like to keep it a little bit cold. We're operating a freighter. Engine ignition is off. Hydraulics, manual switch is off. Electric panel, manual switch is off. APU is running. Emergency power is armed, and smoke electric air is set to norm. Alright, air panel. Manual switch off. Temperatures as desired. Fuel manual switch off, and we can come over here and test the quantity gauge. There we go. Perfect. Lights as desired. No smoking. Turn that on. Alright, so over here, yaw damper switches are not illuminated, which means the yaw dampers are on. Perfect. Oh, we did just skip over the ground procs.
Glide slope. Pull up. Terrain. Pull
We have
up.
all indications.
Pull up.
Perfect.
Sink rate.
Let's go through this.
Pull up.
Vapor pressure,
Terrain.
norm, system light is out.
Pull up.
Anti-ice is
Don't
off.
sink.
Do not need that right
Don't
now.
sink.
And
low,
after this
terrain.
test is done, I will
Too
do
low,
the
gear.
annunciator.
Too low. Flaps. Too low. Terrain. Glide slope. Too low. Terrain. Caution. Terrain. Caution. Terrain. Terrain. Pull up. Pull up.
Alright, perfect. Test complete. Annunciator.
Overspeed.
All bulbs working. Alright, we have all indications. And we're down to the center console. EIS source 1. The landing gear lever is down. We have the 3 green lights and everything. And now we're over here, really to the aisle. Oops. Auto brake. Auto brake, anti-skids. Auto brake to take off, anti-skid. Lights is not lit. Perfect. Spoilers retracted. Take off config.
Stabilizer.
Applications. Perfect. Let's come on down here. Weather radar. Test complete. And for a transponder, what squawk do we have from the auto agency in the pilots? We have 0753, 0753. Squawking 0753. And that's it. Alright. And we should be about to finish boarding as well. Perfect timing, right? Let's look at our progress on the boarding. Boarding completes. So we can get all of our doors closed and get ready to leave. I guess today we will be running a little bit early. So we're ahead of time, so it's 2988. Oh, we might be on time. So I have a little bit of things to do to get our airplane ready to go, so we can work with the currents, block, and everything. We're ready to start before start checklist now, or before start procedure rather. And let me pre-select the takeoff at, oh, it's already set to that. Perfect. 360. Alright. Now fuel quantity is good. Let me read through the checklist actually. Know some of the items now. I don't know the order though. But let's come over here now. Alright, before start checklist. Aircraft log review, fuel quantity is 54.7. IRSs are aligned. Altimeters. The altimeter is 2998. Status page checked. Takeoff warning. Checked. Radar checked. Custom forms on board. Aux pump. We can get that on. Aux pump is on, perfect. Parking brake, let's set that because momentarily I'm going to remove the chocks. There we go, perfect. This windows secure, doors are all closed. And now we can turn on the beacon and get it turned on. Make sure that GPU is, or the external power rather, is off. Yep. And the generators and ties are armed. Alright, GPU gone. Perfect. Good. Let's actually, what we can do is prepare for push.
Locking gear.
Locking gear, okay, perfect. Beacon on. Transponder comes on. Let's turn it on. And we're squawking with Charlie. Ignition, let's do system A. Gonna make a left turn on the push.
Release parking brakes, please.
Perfect. Parking brake is off. Oh, no chocks. Yeah, that's right.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
But it will. Alright, perfect. Let's monitor those engines. 312 in that order. Alright, engine 3 is alive and turning. Into the 15. Let's bring the fuel into operation. Start valve closed. That's into the 45. Push back in. Perfect. We have a good start on 3. We'll let the engine stabilize before we start our other engines. Alright, so there it is. Right about there. Starting engine 1. Into 15, fuel.
Please set parking brakes. Waiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
Start valve closed. Perfect. That's 45 on the into. Engine is stabilizing. Alright, we're starting up 2. Turn up that tail engine. Into 15. Wheel for engine 2. And 245, start valve closed. Now I'm gonna leave the tug hooked for a little bit longer until get a complete start on 2 and pack comes back online and the APU turns off automatically. But yeah, let's start to bring some of the lighting into play. So we can turn off the dome light and still see everything. Well, it doesn't matter. At this point, I can remove the tug. Doesn't matter. We have a good start.
We have a good engine start. You can disconnect. Unlocking
And
gear.
that will happen momentarily. Meantime, get our airplane configured, everything. Alright, split this arm, slats out, and flaps 25. Forgot to roll down that flap takeoff select. Alright, we have flaps 25 on that
Tow
dial.
disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
Flaps going at 25.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
And the trim at, what is our trim? 5.4, about 5.5. So we're gonna pull it down. Oh, that's the hand signal already. We're good to go, pretty much. Alright, let's check our flight controls. We're not finished the after starts procedure. Alright, left, center, right, center. Assuming the Boeing phraseology. Correct me on this if I'm wrong. Up, center, down, center, rudder, left, center, right, center. Perfect. Alright. Let's go to the checklist. After starts, anti-ice not needed. APU is off. Electric panel check. Hydraulic panel is automatically into this configuration, so we do not need to mess with it, and so is the air panel. We're good to go. APU off. All generators are on bus. And we're moving. Alright. Let's look at our taxi route. I did not really brief it, so that's imports and brief. Then brief imports. So if we take a look, we can take Charlie Echo Hotel. Oh, no. Charlie Echo. Juliet Hotel. All the way to Mike 2. If we want to taxi for a length, we can go to Mike 1. We are in a heavy. But we'll have enough room on Mike 2, so take that as well. So here's our taxi routes. Oh, whoops, whoops. Let's draw the little line. And my writing is kind of sloppy. Forget about that time. Alright, clear left, clear right. We are at an uncontrolled airport, so make sure we're on point with our surrounding. Clear left, clear right. Crossing runway 9. If it's traffic, FedEx 148 heavy, crossing runway 9. And the stroke. We're crossing the runway. Beautiful sight. An MD11, right. We're taxiing at a nice speed, though. Hey, let's get a screenshot. And we can take ourselves back to the cockpits. Here we go. Oh, and I haven't turned on the seatbelts. Wow, forgot. Oh, forget that. Leave those lights on. It's alright. Alright, yeah, let's break it coming up on the turn. no taxiway, no taxi lines here. That wasn't a turn for us to make. Maybe I did miss the correct turn, but that's okay. Not that familiar with Memphis, so making this turn anyway. So I probably missed the turn that I was supposed to make to get to Juliet. Taxi all the way to Romeo. Line at Mike 1. 36 left. Alright, here we are. Coming up on it. Slow down about, yeah, 10 knots is good. Or a little bit slower. Thunderstorm. Alright, at this point I'll start on the full takeoff procedure. Get that, yep. Alright, flaps and takeoff config. Play this arm. Auto brakes take off. And now we can come up here. Manual switch. 1 to 3, 2 to 3, and in the air panel, manual switch, packs off for the takeoff. Alright. And for takeoff, alright, almost. And over here we have nav arm and profile mode arm. And we're taking off 36 left. 36 left confirmed. Memphis traffic, FedEx 148 taking off 36 left. Alright, we're clear to the left and clear to the right. Let's get our lights on. Get them on. And we're gonna do a nice little turn and burn. Alright, and we're out. About 70%, yep. And auto flights. So take out thrust sets. Air speed alive. We're moving. Slight forward pressure, let's not forget. 80 knots. Alright, lighten up that forward pressure now. B1, rotate. Very sensitive flight controls. Something that I believe TFDI design could improve on. Alright, positive rate, gear up. There we go. Alright, speed check for laps. And let's follow our flight director. And 15. Lap 0. Well, I wants to pitch all the way up to 20, but I'm gonna hand fly it until then, so the autopilot doesn't stall us and try to kill us. Let's maintain 15 right here on the angle. Kind of hard to maintain. Alright, pitching down a little bit. Now I'll get the autopilot on. Now at this point. Alright, anti-ice. Oh, what I did forget is the windshield anti-ice. At. And we can get on wing. Get that on. Alright, speed check. Slats. Retracted. We'll be pitching down, that autopilot is working. Alright, perfect.
Altitude.
Perfect. After takeoff, let's get those packs back on. Take it out of manual mode and take this out of manual. Here we go. Landing gear up, flaps up, slats retracted, and spoilers disarmed. No ice detected. Because we don't need, yeah, definitely not.
Altitude.
And we can start climbing. Let's climb to 16,000. Airplane did pitch up a little bit violently. Autopilot is meh. Autopilot is a little bit rough. But I heard someone say that kind of is usually that way in older airplanes, so that's okay with us. Cabin's climbing, everything's good over here. That's actually, yeah. Perfect. Alright. 10,000 feet. Landing lights off. And runway turn offs off. And at this point I can turn off the logo. Turn off the logo lights. Like this. This beauty flying through the clouds. Oh yes. And we're to Canada. And we're to Toronto. Alright, let's look at our pitch, 7.5. So leave the seatbelts on a little bit longer. And increase the range a little bit. Oh. No, I left that discontinuity there. But let's clear it. Alright, there we go. Network is unstable. Alright. Hopefully we're not getting disconnected. Alright, at this point, for light altitude, connected. Alright, connected from, alright, disconnected from Sempre rather. And again. Oh, I just got disconnected again. Heard that boop. 350. Moving through a little bit of turbulence as well, perhaps. Yeah.
Stabilizer motion.
But we're definitely in our block, so yeah, use the weather. Use our data from our flight plan as reference. But we're not far into our time block though. So weather on our flight plan data will just be starting to come to effect on our flights. Did depart kind of early. Well, I did depart like right on time, rather. And full standard. This points. Left turn, we're crossing Carson. Here's our opposite right at our transition level. Alright, we're up to 350 and route to Toronto. Look at our progress page. Estimated fuel on arrival, 26,000. So Sempre did give us a nice amount of extra fuel, especially considering our weather that we're dealing with tonight. So that is a good thing. airplane flies very nicely. Now I do know that the MD11 does get a little bit of hate in real life, like not too much hate, but a little bit. And I'm not an actual pilot, so I wouldn't be able to say why. Definitely don't know. But I think it's a nice airplane. Sim, it flies really nicely. Don't really know how well it flies in real life, or the TFDI designs how realistic of a representation that this is to the flying characteristics of the real life aircraft. But I think it's a really nice airplane in sim. Flies really smooth and it's pretty fast too. A fast climb profile. Let's see what our cruise is going to be. By the way, we're going to the performance page. Kind of forgot. All right, 0.06. A little close to 0.81. That's a nice speed. Who knows? We may have some express deliveries in the back. And did I turn on the weather radar? I might have forgotten. Wow. Yeah. Weather radar should have captured that storm which just flew through. Turn up the range. Alright, this is good enough. And I'm gonna leave the lighting where it's at in the cockpits. Because we're now in the the clouds. We're over the clouds. We're now high in the sky, so we're using our instruments for everything. Nothing see outside, nothing important as far as situational awareness. IFR flights. Flying right over those stormy, nasty storm clouds. Just saw that lightning striking the clouds. And I just installed I just like not too long ago bought Active Sky for Microsoft Flight Simulator. So now the weather that I'm getting is more accurate than the weather engine. The weather engine is okay, but Active Sky is just a little bit better. And that's pretty important when it comes to flying. Left the seatbelts on. Alright, we're about the clouds and everything, so and turn them off, or put them on auto rather. At this point, forget about my seat. Let's explore the cabin. Me pick up my little packaged lunch. Just walk through the cockpit door. It's actually open. No, we can't. That's right. Let's unlock the sucker and pop it open. I don't know if that opens. It probably doesn't open at all. Oh, yes it does. Alright. Cockpit door open. And really all I'm seeing in this aircraft is this little coffee maker. I don't know where the refrigerator will really be. Again, I'm not a real life pilot, not a real life FedEx pilot. But I've heard no galleys and pilots just enjoy packaged dinners or lunches. So let's hop back into our seat. Let me just reset the view. I don't really feel like walking back over. There we go. And we're coming up on our top climb. Everything's looking good. Let's see our cabin pressure. We have a good cabin rates and a good cabin altitude. And our ideal temperatures over here. Turns that off. Okay. Really turn that down. Really don't go all the way up. I feel like this is a pretty ideal setting for cruise as far as lighting. Don't want our pilots falling asleep. And the flight deck. First reason, second reason, we're monitoring instruments like I just said earlier. 350. Our thrust is decreasing a little bit, and one's decreasing. Perfect. And we're maintaining our exact cruising speed. The airplane is good with managing speed. Just a little bit weird with the pitch and everything. flights. It's on this page, huh? Now let's look at the progress page again. Let's see how things are going, just to monitor. I don't really see where top percent is going to be. We can't really find that in here. Alright. 476 miles, 57 minutes. And I'm gonna leave the econ cruise page there just for that. So let's one more time outside. Like airspaces where I'm flying are a little bit quiet. Not really hearing a lot about aircraft. Well, part of it is because at cruising altitude in an uncontrolled airspace. It's pretty quiet where I'm at. If I look at Navigraph charts, we are currently still in Memphis airspace. Well, we're about to be out. Alright. We're about to be over Indianapolis. It's another pretty screenshot that I would take. Our beautiful FedEx airplane. Correct the angle to what I want. But let me get a few angles. Maybe the rear. This is better. I like this. Digging it. We're 23 minutes into our flights. And we're moving. Pretty much I don't really have anything else to see at this point. And we're just quietly cruising at the moment. So I'm gonna mute my mic and step away and probably run a few errands or whatever. So enjoy the cruise.
Midway Tower, good day. Alpha Alpha Lima 2145 at stand B11. Requesting pushback. Mic check, mic check.
descent. At this point, I do want to start configuring, getting our airplane ready for descent and arrival. So let's do that. I'm gonna first start with the forecast winds. Get into those really quickly. Let's come along down. Alright, here's a descent. I will plug in 310, 200, and 10,000. So let's start with 310, of course. So that's a 259 at 44 or something. Yeah. Yep, 259.44. So and plus, yeah, at some point we might get an all the way to sea advisory telling us to descend 310 just because the airspace or whatever, which is Toronto, which would be Toronto Center, does not really provide services at 350. So let me get that again. 310, 259.44. I'll grab the winds for 310, and then next we can do 200 and 10,000. Alright, we're gonna set that. Perfect. Some good performance. So let's take runway 24 left. So let's get the weather info. Before we look at the briefing, we might actually get 24 right. So I'm gonna look at the charts. Let's look at the reference noise payments. Alright. Rogers. We can still be able to take 24 left and 24 right. See that on here. By arrivals. See anything for arrivals. Alright. Yep. Alright, we're down to 310, so let's go into that. Into that now. Rival, okay. Minimum approach noise, so yes, let's try to do that. Approach nice and slow. Minimum approach noise. 3-degree glide slope. Remain on or above glide slope. Alright, perfect. Vertical guidance is provided 3-degree for both runways. Alright, perfect. We're in a heavy airplane, so no controllers available for Toronto, so we can take 24 rights. Alternatively, give me 24 rights. Insert. Here we go. Flight plan still, whoa, epic QWERTY. Go to discon. Alright, there we go. Almost got taken off course there. Alright. 24 rights, we're taking it. And I'll do wets just because of the weather. 011. Getting info. And the landing weights shall be in a performance page or a progress page rather. Oh no, inits. Should be in our inits. Yup, 467.5. And let's do our calculation. Low auto brake. Estimated landing distance. That doesn't look. Oh, no, it's. We're 67,500. Ooh, alright. Yep. That's about right. That's definitely right. So we can do low auto brakes. And on our arrival, if we look at the charts, we are approaching Toronto, so let's pull that up already. Number 6. Number 6. Alright. And we can look at our restrictions. Right here. Oh, no. Number 6 for... No. I don't know why I went back. That's weird. That's strange. I don't know why we went back. How did we go back? Here we go. Number 6 for 2 for rights, 2 for left. Here we go. No. Here we go. This is the right one. Alright. Our first restriction will be... It'll be... Below 15,000 and above 11,000, so...
Altitude.
You can pre-select that. Profile to 11,000. ATC is still offline. go. And the altimeter. Let's get that information. Altimeter is 2985. I wouldn't set that just yet, but when we start descending, or a little bit after. Let's again cross check. We have all the info right here. Perfect. And for approach, we will have 248 ILS. DME 109.3, course 237. Let's look in our nav rad. Alright, no, it's not captured just yet, but we definitely getting there. Alright, so not gonna worry about that. Or we can enter it 237. Slash 109.3. Into that info. Or I don't know, it should capture. That's move 3. Oh, wait. Wrong formats. 109.3 slash 237. And we can enter that already. Perfect. And we're approaching our top percent. We're about to start descending. And we can really go with the briefing as of this point. And wait a minute, wait. Go to our approach page, right? Selected 35 on the flaps. So 35 on the flaps. And here's the speed for re5. Our speed is 165, final approach speed. Alright, we're descending. Alright, it's automatically perfect. We got the approach information, perfect. So let's just go over the briefing. Alright. Localizer 109.3, course 237, ILS DME, alright, or decision heights 250, and we can really get that over here. Perfect. Alright, 250. This approach briefing. Climb, where we're heading. Let's turn 189. Climb to 3000. Alright. And here's the 30-degree glide slope. And we can cross check all of that. Alright, we're descending now. So let's go over our checklist. We can go to the en route checklist at this points, or in range rather. Altimeter. Once we get lower, the altimeter will be 2985, 295. Briefing complete. Approach brief. No, we're in the wrong checklist. Alright. Got me out in the altimeter. Anti-ice,
Motion.
the shield. Get that on at this point. Or when we get a little bit lower. Yeah, we are. Anti-ice. And we're descending a little quick, so further now we can pull this out of standard. It's 189.85. Perfect. Alright, let's finish looking over the checklist. Oh, not recording the page. Alright, seatbelts. I will get that on at this point, yeah. Seatbelts on. Oops, not off, on. Seatbelts on. Seatbelts and harnesses fastened. Hydraulic manual. And fuel. Already in the configuration. Aux sinks we do need them. Oh yeah. Hydraulics at this point, 1 to 3 to the 3. We're in the range. And the checklist is complete. Let's continue. Be slowing down. Look at that. Perfect. This airplane manages speed really well. like that. And over you pass the restriction. Let's see. Now the waypoint, oh, Rock 2 as 11,000 above, so down to 8,000 at this point. 8,000.
Stabilizer motion.
Coming down nice and easy. We like that. And we're right on the descent path. The airplane descends really well too. Just that initial climb performance that's a little bit odd. That's the only thing. Look at that, it's the airport right in sight. Alright, speed brake's coming out. Yep, slow it down under 250 for 10,000. Alright. They're coming under 10,000, so they've got those lights on. Landing lights on. We'll leave the nose off for now. We're only turn offs. But across both time at 8,000. And go profile mode to 3,000. Profile descent. If we can. No, we really can't. So we're gonna do a VNAV descent at 3,000 after crossing the border. And I'm gonna go for 1,500 feet per minute. Alright, perfect. Cross it.
Altitude.
For 3,000. (1,500 feet per minute). 1,500 feet per minute. Down to 3,000. And we're at speed slower. Alright, 220, 210 knots in that speed, so slacks coming out. Airport's right there. And the glass was captured. Yeah, just look at that. Yep. So, after we pass, after we cross Marad, we can turn left at 8327, hit a final turn, and capture that glide slope. Well, we already have, I said capture it. It's enter glide slope. Get on to the localizer. But we have to be at 3,000 and pass Marad. Alright, there goes 3,000 feet. We can now start the turn.
2,500.
I guess you press it in. Let's see to actually select it, huh? $327. Oh, I just messed that up. Yeah. I'm starting to turn kind of late, huh? Alright, now let's continue. And we can lower our speed a little bit, I feel like. 190. Guess we, oh. Don't press it in.
Stabilizer motion.
It's not slowing down though. Oh, there it is. There we go, there we go. Alright, we're coming right up on it. Shoved out flaps 15. At this point, we can turn again. We don't miss the glide slope. Let's hit our turn. Sim lag.
Stabilizer motion.
Oh, over the turn. Yeah, blick spot. Here we go. I feel like we could enter the approach, land arm, and on it again. Yeah. See what it does. Ah, missed the glide slope. Decrease. There we go. We have the localizer, and we have the localizer captured. We're on it. Here's in traffic. Good evening. FedEx 148 on final for 2 for rights. Perfect. And now again. Laps 15 and gear down, slow down the airplane. All right, and
Altitude. Altitude.
we go FMS speed, right? Flight plan. Alright, flaps 15, gear down. No, the procedure really well. That's my thing. And flaps 28. Flaps 28. And then we can go full laps 35. Our init speed once again is, I believe it was 165. Yeah, we're around that. Perfect. Yep. All right. And now we can get the taxi light on. And arm the
1000.
spoilers arm. Landing checklist. For landing, lights as required. Spoilers armed. Auto brakes minimum. Minimal. Landing gear down. 4 green rather. And flaps. The 35. 35, flaps 35, landing checklist complete. And we go at this point. I will turn up the autopilot, my controls.
500. Autopilot.
My controls.
Autopilot. Autopilot. 300.
And the auto throttle coming off.
200.
Oh,
Sync rate.
knots.
Sync rate.
100.
I don't like the controls.
50.
Sync
Far
rate.
too
40.
sensitive.
Sync
20.
rate.
Rough landing.
Sync
Oh.
rate.
Bounced it. Huh. Definitely bounced it. But it's okay. Reversers. That was a hard landing. Yeah. You can blame me? Yeah, BI definitely can improve on their flight control column. Alright. Let's taxi. I just missed the exits. Let's taxi off the runway.
Stabilizer.
Now I do not know where the FedEx hub is at this airport, so that's when to taxi around. So find it really. Here's in traffic. 2 for right vacated. FedEx 1 for 8 heavy. Alright, at the landing, let's clean up our airplane. Flaps. Let's get those flaps up first and then the slats. Alright, here we go. Auto brake off. Let's get that auto brake off. Click spots. Should went over the taxi briefing before I landed, but that is okay. That's okay. I don't know if we can really find the over here. Let's see. Find FedEx Hub. Oh, yeah, I see it over here. But we have a long way to go. For the taxi routes, so we're gonna find our way though. We have quite a way to go. So I'm gonna take Delta Foxtrot. And we're gonna cross 15 right at Juliet. And make our way right there. So Delta Foxtrot, Juliet. Alright, lights went out. Sheesh. scope can come off. It was a rough landing. And the weather radar can come off. And the local lights, I can turn that back on actually. Permits, that was a pretty rough landing. Due to that sensitivity, still not used to it. I messed up that landing gear a little bit of sight, or I've hurt some tires and probably our pilot's bottom. Ha! Yeah. But make our way Delta Foxtrot Juliet. And let's make sure we're going the right way. We don't miss. Oh yeah, it's definitely this way. Dissonates. Our brakes. Alright. Yep. Oh, mic though. Now on Foxtrots. Oh yeah, no, mic. This should be Foxtrots. Maybe the signs are a little mismatched. Lines might be a little mismatched.
Altitude.
Alright, do we have an after landing checklist? I want to look. Let's see if we can find it. Right. After landing, you on the APU. These points. Let's start the APU up. APU, lights as required. Perfect. Alright. We have lights as required. Stabilizer trim. 2, 3. So, let's pull that actually. Yeah. And we shall monitor it. Yes. So config. Configuration. And trim to 3. Alright, let's put it straight to 3. Here we are. Yep. We're definitely coasting down Foxtrots. Alright, let's look at the rest of the checklist though. I'm still not 100% too familiar with this aircraft. Still kind of new to it. Really my first time flying in the sim. Alright, so flaps and slats up and retracted. Gotten that. Outer brake is off. Spoiler retract and detents. Radar is off, and oxygen pressure, really can't do anything with that. Hydraulic manual, 1323 RPMs off. Manual switched off, and that's the automatic configuration. After landing check is complete. I don't know what to really do about this. Or maybe I'll double click this. That should kill it. Alright. Really put this on standby. I like this aircraft. Definitely will do more flights in the future with it. It's red lights. Yeah, definitely. But again, check our surroundings here. Make sure there's no traffic. We're not seeing any traffic. Definitely approach that a little bit fast. Probably didn't really need to stop. So let's make sure we're clear on the left and on the right. Alright, clear left, clear right. We're crossing. Crossing 2-3. Here's in traffic. FedEx 148 crossing 2-3. Alright. And we're on to Juliet. Runway vacated. With those spurts. It is not braking. There it is. I'll be able to see forward in the cockpits. Looking over up to the stereo view. And my sim's lagging. And we're gonna cross 15 rights. So let's make sure we are all clear. All clear again. Once again. We're clear left, clear right. Our steering is not keeping up because it's here's the traffic. FedEx 148 crossing 15 rates. There goes the FedEx hub. Yep. We've made it. Safe and sound, like always. Runway vacated on the Juliets, parking at FedEx hub. Let's see, what would the gate numbers be? So I can get out GSX. We'll just have to see. Just have to pull it closer. Now, if we stop here and choose the gates, right? What gates would this be? Let's spot some signs. S6. We'll definitely do that. SX. Parking S6. Huh. No ramps available? Huh. That's strange. That's a little strange. Let's see. Okay, so let me see. I don't know. That would stand for. And let me select it. Cargo. Huh. Nope. show me the spots. Let's see. No. Definitely do not see it. That's we're not getting that spot. So I'll perhaps park at this gates right here. And the MD11 should be big enough for it. Yeah, we're good. We are good. Coming right into that spot. Probably oversteered it a little bit too much. Let's make sure we are parking into the gates correctly. Alright, here we go. Our position gates. Use this pole as a reference point. Nice little reference points. I think we can stop here. Yes. Let's take a look outside. Because I don't have the little marshaller in front. Hey. Kind of spot. Almost perfect. Yeah, we did. Yes, we can move up, but just a little bit. Let it roll on up. Then we can stop right about there. It's really close now. But we're stopping. Alright, alright. APU. And we can now shut our engines down. Off lights. Alright. Engine shutting down. APU should be on bus. Let's make sure of that. Our N2 is below 20. We can shut down the beacon at this point. And I should have checked earlier, but it should be. Definitely turned on the generators and everything.
Toronto traffic, WestJet,
Yep,
1428, pushing back gate
He
137
was right about
onto
that.
6.
APU is running. So at this point, we can start again. Let me plot the checklist. Still not as perfect with this airplane. You know, the IRSs and everything. Alright, it's IRSs off. Then turn on the emergency power. NTI is off. Oh yeah, definitely. NTIs. Defog is definitely off. Never use that the entire flight. Emergency lights, no smoking signs, seatbelts, beacon, and levers off. Status. Alright. No smoking. Off seatbelts, emergency lights, and at this point we can
Boarding
board.
requested.
FedEx. Thank you. Let's open the doors. Oops. Yeah, it should be opening automatically. That's what I'm saying. We're here in Toronto now, so hope you all enjoyed the flights. We all enjoyed that trip. Stay tuned for more. Like, subscribe, and thank you very much for that. And for the most part, thank you for watching. And I'll see you next time. I'll pretty much end the video here.
Crew deboarding starting.
Not really put a crew on this airplane. The only pilots. Well, we're operating FedEx, so no crew for us. And my GPU is getting fried, huh? My GPU is fried right now, huh? Amazing. Alright, so we're at the end of our flight anyway, so it doesn't matter. I'm about to quit anyway. So, see y'all later.